Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today we're continuing our topic on watches. There was a previous video that I just made, kind of really getting into discussion about switching up your straps on your watch. So today I have 3 silicone or rubber straps, and I purchased 3. Link's gonna be in the description for all 3 of them. To purchase on Amazon. I purchased them because I wanted to see which one was better than the other, because they all kind of look similar, and I didn't want, for if I was to purchase them, the color to be a little off or not the way it's viewed in the actual photo. Because when you're really trying to color match things, like I bought it for this particular watch here for like a blue dial, and you want the strap to be blue, you want to make sure that it matches that color. Now, black is usually a color that you don't have a problem with that with. Other colors, people don't really try to necessarily match the dial as much as they do with blue. But say if you had like something like a green dial and you wanted a green strap, you might want it to be a particular green or whatever the case is. So just to kind of knock out the price and everything right now, this one right here was $15.59, and this is called the Binlun is the name of the brand. All these are 20 millimeter straps. This one is the Niziruoup. It's got a weird name. You can kind of see it on there. And this one is $18.99, and this one is also $18.99, and this one is the Juntan. So if the more affordable one matches the specs as far as the way it looks and feels as the more expensive two and is or better, then I will just go with that. Now, this one, I actually wanted the one with a silver buckle, but that one said that it was backlog in stock, and so it would have taken it didn't really say a specific time, and I didn't want to wait for that because I wanted to be able to compare all 3 of these. So we're gonna get into these, and hopefully if I end up choosing to go with this one, that buckle color doesn't bother me. Now, these are all, if I'm not mistaken, quick release mechanisms. Now this one has, so far, what it seems like is the most basic package, and this cloth here comes with a tool for changing out. But what I often find, and let me see if this is the case with this one, what I often find is that these tools, the fork part is usually not the right size to go in the hole area, and that is the case here as well. It can go in as like a little slant, but like it could go in, let's see if it'll focus, like that, but it won't go in straight down, which is normally the way that at least I would do it with the tools that have a smaller fork at the tip. So I guess we just got to see with that. It feels nice. I prefer the curved ones, just so it could kind of looks like it's more like it's part of the watch, like something that looks as close to being, what's the word I'm looking for? Like from the manufacturer, or, you know, part of like as if you bought it with the watch, is better. Now, I want to also make note too, I mentioned this in the previous video, I believe as well, but if I didn't, I want to say, if you're buying a new watch, because part of this all came from the fact that I was helping a friend purchase a new watch, giving me some tips and ideas. If you're going to buy a new watch, I say go for a bracelet one and then get the strap aftermarket, because often it's cheaper to get the strap, or at least a similar strap, than trying to get a bracelet. You can't get a bracelet aftermarket. You could get a type of bracelet, but it's not going to be the bracelet. It's not going to be the one that fits it, you know, exactly, because other third-party companies aren't going to make bracelets that are made to fit a specific watch. It just would cost them too much to do that. Let's see how this one looks here. Okay, so this one has some pretty nice packaging. Well, it's about the same as this one, but it feels like a nicer kind of material here. And in addition to that, though it is wrapped in a way where once you take it apart, you definitely are not putting it back together that same way. And it looks like I'm gonna have to rip into this with a knife. I really don't prefer that. Let's see if I'm gonna be able to get into this from here. Yeah, okay. Okay, got it open now. Now, this one here seems to be showing the silver-ish buckle looks to be similar to this other brand over here. I'm not even gonna try to repeat the names, but a more satin feel buckle, which I actually like because it'll be less likely to get scratched up versus this one. So the cheaper one has a polished, and I really don't like that because that one's gonna get really scratched up. So though the price is good on that one, I think that I prefer the buckle on this. And to be honest, so they're not the exact same, but, and this one has these other pieces underneath it, but that buckle definitely makes a difference to me so far. The colors are different, and I'll be honest with you, they're not that much different, but there is a difference. This one's a little darker. You might not be able to see it on camera. It's a little darker, not by that much, but it is a little darker. This one's a little lighter. And this is why it's good to get these things in person rather than just be the judge off of, online. It's not that noticeable. So with that being said, the mold seems to be the same, other than the fact that this one puts these pieces underneath here to try to help with like sweat. I don't know how good of a thing that is, but I know this looks better. But that buckle alone would make me choose this one, even though I think I do like the color on this one a little bit better. Like I said, you don't see it as much. It's a little darker. I'm not saying it's that much noticeable in person, but it's a little lighter on this one. And it's just, it's lighter in that it almost looks like there's a little hint of purple in it, where this one doesn't have that. And let's see this last one here. Okay, so there we go. This one has the better packaging. You've even got some extra, the bars on it, spring bars. But so already I could tell you this one, I actually like the way this one looks the best. I like the color on it. The color is darker. I'm sure that's showing up here. Yes, it's showing up here on camera. It's darker. I'm gonna put this next here so you can see all three of those next to each other. This one's darker. They're almost about the same color. This one has more of the curve in it. This one doesn't. This one right here is a little lighter, but the problem is this one doesn't have those spring lugs. It doesn't have the easy release spring lugs, and it gives you a bunch of regular lugs. And I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. Let's see how the tool is, because the tool might be able to fit correctly. I don't know if it will or not. Better than the other tool is the fork on it a lot smaller. The fork actually looks smaller. It is, and it's the correct size. So the fork on this one's correct size, meaning I could use this tool to do this task. The only thing about it though, and it comes with 4 additional spring bars. The only problem is I like being able to just take it off really easily and do it like that. So let's try that. And put these on just to see how it looks. I'm definitely not gonna go with this one off of that, the fact that it the clasp is that polished clasp. I'm really not a fan. Just do this off of the camera. I'm sorry about that, guys. I just want to try to get in there as easy as possible, and I'm having a little bit of trouble. Okay, what I'm going to do now is this, because it'll make it a little easier for me. Take all these things, move them to the side. I'm going to bring this down, and then I can do this while it's on here, and that makes it a little bit easier for me. Trying to find the whole spot where it goes in. I am sorry for this, guys. Okay, I got it. I didn't want to have you guys going through that the whole time. So I like the color on this one better than that other one, but I'm not a fan of this. That's the only problem with this one, is just that. That's the only piece that I have a problem with. And let's switch this one out here. Okay, so here's this one, and I know it's not easy to see the color difference, but it's definitely, it almost feels like it's got a purplish in it. Maybe it's when it's looked at next to the other ones, and maybe by itself it's not too bad, but it doesn't really match the blue of the dial as much. But to be honest with you, I am really not a fan of the fact that the other one, which I probably would go with, this last one here, it has these, it doesn't have the quick release spring bars, which is not the end of the world, but it's bad enough that it's hard to get the bracelet on and off. Once you do that, it's nice being able to just go from strap to strap without having to then do that whole process with this right here. So let's see. And I will try to use the tool that came with it. Maybe we'll try to do it on screen this time again. Now, see this one, I won't even know if this actually fits, because this one actually looks very fitted. So this one may not even be possible, actually. It might actually not even be possible, to be honest with you. So you know what, guys? I just realized that looking at the branding, I mean, on the details of this watch, it actually says the name, and then it also says replacement watch strap for the Moonswatch. So this one is not a universal one, and I guess that's evident by the fact that these lugs actually are made to kind of really fit for permanent. So this one's going to automatically be out of the picture. So I'm thinking between the two that I have there left, just for the buckle, I'll go with this one. But I did a lot of searching, and there really wasn't that many, and these really were the ones I settled on that actually looked like the color made sense. Even when we look at the photos on the, sorry about that, the photos on the website on Amazon. So I am thinking to myself now that this is probably the best option I'm gonna have and that I'm gonna go with. So it really comes down to that. But I also just wanna give off the message to you guys just to say that Consider, as far as, like I mentioned in a previous video, if you want to give more life to your watch and you have a bracelet, maybe it's your only watch, consider switching out the straps so that way you have different options to kind of bring it more life. And that way, you know, feel like it's a different watch, especially if you only have one watch that you're trying to use. Like I said, this idea came from the fact that I was trying to help my friend get a new watch and whatnot, and kind of inspire him on what direction he should go in. But with that being said, you guys be safe, take care, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.